to order. Councilwoman Bell is present. Councilman Hodge, Vice Mayor Losner, present for the committee of the whole. What's my agenda? Purple shit. Yeah. First item is the approval of the August 15, 2006 minutes, moved by Councilwoman Bell, second by the Vice Mayor. Any questions on the minute? If not, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Item 2C is the discussion and on action on the management contract.
Mr. Mayor and Council, I have before you the proposed management contract for Mike Shahada, the Deputy City Manager. The city is, as we're embarking on a project with HR that we're just beginning and looking at succession planning for the city. We're gathering data in terms of tenure with the city, age brackets, those kinds of things that we're going to give you some kind of, give us some kind of a idea of what our workforce looks like, how it's shaping up, and again, being able to, with some assumptions, looking into the future, looking at what we need to do.
I'll move this recommendation.
Second. Moved by Councilman Bell, second by Councilman Hodge. Any comments on it? Mr. Manager, this is a recommendation coming from you.
Well, I didn't know I had that much. Okay. Thank you.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes you do. Right, okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good. Item 2D is the mixed-use opportunity area future land use amendment presentation.
We're saving our time for this one.
Did I hear
We're saving our time for this one.
I was just going to say that.
While the speaker's coming up, I just would like to just sort of caution you on this item. This is not going to be an approval of an amendment to a comprehensive plan. I'd like to keep this very conceptual. The idea of this is based, because this is ultimately will end up in a totally different process.
Gotcha.
So that basically the purpose of this is, are you generally in accord with this direction? Or is it just totally wrong? That's sort of the level of, this is a 10,000 foot view as opposed to 1,000 feet or 100 feet.
Gotcha.
And I hope we can do it in 5 minutes.
Okay, Mr. Mayor and Council, then I will refer to Cherie. Then I won't make any opening comments on this, so I'll let Cherie get right into maybe a general explanation of what you're looking at here, and then we'll go and hear comments maybe. Mayor, you.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Mayor and the Council, this is a 133-acre parcel in the west of Florida Turnpike, and this was a request that the City Planning Office wanted to do this land use change, and we got with the property owner, and we came up with a mixed-use opportunity area that suits the city and suits the applicant.
Your microphone on?
Yes.
Did you say west of the turnpike?
Yes.
No.
It's across the street from BJ's.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's a location map in your packet.
We just got one. We just handed one out as well.
It's in our packet.
This was originally zoned
Technology.
as a well, actually the land use was a technology mixed use, which is B1A, B1, B2, unrestricted B3. Now it's going to be residential, and it's going to be hotel, civic centers, and some commercial use. Is there anything specific that I can answer?
Why the necessity of having residential use in that area?
I'm sorry?
Why is the necessity to have the residential component in the area?
Well, we think putting the residential is going to make a better circulation of the traffic for 133 acres, and really would be a better development for the city.
Mr. Mayor, may I jump in and add one thing? I think a lot of it would add flexibility. Historically on that property, we did the technical mixed use because we were trying to make that property available at the time. You know, we had Enron come in, those were the days, and we were trying to zone that property so that we could maximize the use, benefit for the city in terms of development. Turns out that didn't work for us at that time, and I think one of the key areas, Sheree, I think, and we may hear this, is that why residential in there along with the other uses, it adds the flexibility to market that land to a developer to put a project together. This will probably, I would guess, a master plan project is what this will end up to be, this much contiguous land. But it does give that flexibility, therefore probably you're going to have more interest from developers to come in, regardless of what we end up with at the end of the day, but have them come in with plans or proposed projects. And Sherry, did I say anything wrong?
No? Perfect.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Hodge?
I would like to ask, what happened, or is it still in the process, the off and on ramps that was being discussed for this?
Yes, as part of this land use, the applicant has proposed to dedicate the right-of-way, the roadway design, and the construction of the ramps for Lucy.
Mayor,
Ms. Bell?
And they are going to do it at the same time that the construction of Lucy is getting done.
Ms. Bell?
Thank you. While I don't necessarily have a problem with the classification and the changing as calling it a mixed-use opportunity area, I did have some major concerns, especially and I appreciate what the concessions are from the developer. But again, we're dealing with an averaging, density averaging. So, and on top of density averaging, we have a base density of 15 units per gross acre, and then with the bonus of up to 25 units. So essentially, if you take into account density averaging and then you take into account the bonus, you could end up with 30 to 50 units per acre if you take into account the density averaging. Recognizing this is a general conversation and everything would have to come back before us, I wanted to put that out there because it is part of the points that are in the workbook. So I just wanted to put that out there, that I am very concerned with that type of a high density on that particular side.
Yes, and that's one of the reasons. If you look, they propose a maximum number of residential unit, which is 1662 dwelling unit.
Right.
In the packet has been submitted to you.
There's a max, I didn't see that in here, a maximum of 1,660, where is that?
1662 is,
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Question.
Go ahead, that's fine.
Question, Mayor.
Mr. Hodge?
Just to get a clear, and I know the city attorney has told us we're looking at, we're looking at it from an airplane. But I would like to get a little bit more of the total concept of what's being taken place, because in my mind I envision, I know we went to a League of the City dinner at the train center, and I know they're doing somewhat of the town center concept. You know, they have all the financial centers and banking industries that's been there for a while, and now they're building some retail on the bottom and doing some condos on top. There's a Publix there, so you can basically come downstairs, do your business, and go back up.
Exactly.
And it really it's really nice products. So, and I know that's probably getting a little too close to ground, but ideally is this the type of concept that they're you're proposing?
Yes, there's going to be residential, retail, commercial, and offices. Yes, that's most likely what it's going to look like.
And implementing the off, I guess we should be asking you that, but implementing the off and on ramps within that, it would kind of reduce a lot of the traffic issues that we currently have with Campbell Drive, because a lot of things would be right there. You have the off and on ramp from the turnpike to exit the city right there, so it eliminates going from one side of the city to the next.
It's going to be an improvement to overall city traffic, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Hogg. Mr. Porter?
Mr. Manager, if with this technology mixed-use overlay that's currently on it now, it somewhat limits the ability to do a lot with that 100-acre piece of property.
That's correct. It really was designed, again, for those merchant plants at the time.
Right.
We were going to use the water plant for water, and it was a pretty good thought back then where we were back then, but just didn't come out.
And we took it, at that particular point, it was G. It was just general use. When it was zoned from general, it went to technology mixed use to attract a particular element. That element is not going to come into town. Now, basically, you've got it zoned in a way that is probably not the most effective way to have it zoned, and it's such a large, valuable piece of property to the city.
That's correct. I mean, while the city doesn't own the property, it's very valuable to the city, and what gets developed there is real key to the city. I think the fact that on and off ramps have been offered are a huge assistance to us on our roadway infrastructure as we've been struggling. We all know. I think that when we get down to in talking to some of the principals there, just keeping this on a macro level, they're looking for a real class type of development proposal. I hate to use the term since it seems to be tainted a little bit, but town center kind of concept potentially there that it seems to be popular now in a number of areas. I think the key here is doing this gives the flexibility. Then we can sit back and see what comes in as proposals to us and go from there.
When you look at the piece of property from an aerial view, you've got residential to the north, you've got city-owned, governmental use to the west. Obviously, you've got the big box commercial to the south, including the Walmart, the Home Depot, and now the BJ's. And you have full access to the turnpike, which is, now with the Alger family helping out with that, that was one of the major concerns for the traffic issue that we've been talking about, along the line with the DDR project, which is a substantial piece of property, but not to the magnitude of this piece of property. The DDR is 53. So, that's half the size of this piece of property. So I think it would be in our best interest to build in some flexibilities, because it does have a residential component just on the other side of the canal.
And it comes back. We come back and we look at what it is,
And one of the equations that we've been talking about for a little bit of time here has been the fact that right next to this 100-acre piece of property is a sewage treatment facility.
Yeah. Wastewater treatment plant.
I'm old school sewage treatment.
Just hope the wind blows the right way, that's all.
Well, that's going to be something that's going to have an impact.
We're looking at improving the ambiance of that when it comes in, and air quality occasionally, but
wastewater by any other name is still.
I just like to say for the record that the Alger family has been extremely cooperative in all the traffic issues that we've been trying to deal with. They have been there on every occasion, listening, learning, discussing, inputting, sometimes not good, but always had input. But I will say that they've been a true friend to the city, and this is an obvious positive move on their part for them individually as an organization. But it's a huge benefit to the city. And it was one of the things that we have never been able to find the monies to do. And in all of our meetings with the Turnpike Authority, they said, you're on your own with these interchanges. I'm sorry, Mike, go ahead. I'm not through, but are you?
No, I just want to reserve a seat.
Well, I just think that this piece of property is so large that there's got to be an opportunity for us to build in some sort of flexibilities, to move and shift, and like the manager says, we will have opportunities to see and have additional input into this. But it's definitely zoned incorrectly today.
It doesn't give us the flexibility at best and highest use, I don't think, at this point.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to remind Mr. Shahada, before he interrupts council people, that his contract was only approved on a committee of a whole agenda. And so it needs to go to the council.
This is what Rick Stout whispered in my ear. He said, "You have a contract." I said, "No, until Monday I don't have one."
Exactly.
Mayor, I missed that one. I'm sorry. Can we bring that back up? Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Shahada.
Mr. Mayor, council members, I just wanted to clarify a few things. Again, I think as far as staff like Sheree and the mayor, the manager said, we definitely support this concept. We like it. And again, it's coming to in front of you for discussion and direction to direct us which way you like us to proceed in terms of the mixes there, uses, and stuff like that. And I also like to mention that I read the information submitted by the applicant, and they talked about water and sewer capacities and stuff like that. I somehow disagree with some of the analysis, but it's not the trigger by code that we need to do it now. But when the time is proper and they come for approval, we will definitely address these capacity issues. And Mr. Porter mentioned the wastewater treatment plant. It's across the street. It's an issue, and normally if residents start calling and complaining about wastewater treatment plant, that's a potential for problems. So we will definitely be talking about, with the help of our attorneys, about disclosure issues or maybe improvements to the wastewater treatment plant. But and again, the applicants, the information I get from Sheree, they are extremely cooperative, and we support the concept.
Mayor. Thank you. Also in reading, I concur with Mr. Porter. I think the Algers have been absolutely wonderful. Really, I think that their bottom line is what they believe is also in the best interest of the city, and I don't think that's without question. And one of the things that I liked is that we hear a lot about the town center concept without getting true retail. We hear 50,000, 100,000, we don't hear the millions. And so when I took a look at this is true retail. This is not just a little sampling there to make you feel better about the higher density. So with my compliments on that, not mean to be a little sarcastic. And by the way, Mr. Porter, I did my day with Public Works, and so it's wastewater treatment plant.
I stand corrected.
Thank you. So, and I also would support this. I know that I would support this change, I would support this land use, but also that each and every time something happens, it does come back to council. It's going to come back to council for approval, so we have nothing to be concerned about, because each and every site plan, everything that's going to happen is going to come back before us anyway. So with that caveat, I would support this as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bell.
Yeah,
any other comments from council?
Just a clarification, because sometimes we talk about zoning and master plan. Right now, the only request has nothing to do with really zoning.
Right.
It's really just master plan.
Right, land use.
Future land use plan. And then once that's done, then certain permitted uses are permitted under that master plan. So you have a bunch of steps. It's just just a general concept that's being presented.
Do you want to make some comment before we...
Sure. Santiago Chimeneo with the law firm of 2 Cardinals, 1441 Brickell Avenue. I'm accompanied by Carla Alger, John Lane, who's a family lawyer, Amanda Cork from my office, Alyssa Solarzano from David Plummer & Associates, and Guillermo Armedillo, who's a former planning director at the county. On the density issue, I want to note that the residential component is limited to between 25 and 50% of the project. So even though it's 15 to 25 units per acre, it's only for maximum of 50% of the project. The density bonus is provided that we meet creative excellence and meet the minimum standards of your urban design guidelines, so we don't get there without your approval. There are also a whole host of EAR-based amendments or language in the EAR and in your goals, policies, and objectives regarding increasing the density in transportation corridors. which is the reason that it's important to cluster residential development here by the future in and out north ramp of the Lucy interchange. On the Lucy interchange, the Alger family is looking at entering into a development agreement with the city whereby they would advance the funds for the construction of the Lucy interchange. That is going to have a dramatic effect citywide. It's going to reduce 12,000 trips on Campbell Drive. It's going to reduce 10,000 trips on US 1. In effect, it resolves all of the level of service deficiencies citywide. And so this is an important project, not just for the Alger family, but really for the entire community of Homestead and the development community as well. As Richard said, I think staff just wanted to conceptually go over the plan amendment, the proposed plan amendment. The technology mixed use is obsolete. The proposed mixed use opportunity area would be consistent with the proposed Lucy Street interchange. So we are negotiating with staff entering into a development agreement whereby there are certain entitlements that need to take place relative to the interchange, the property vis-a-vis the interchange, its funding, reimbursement for the interchange. We're going to be deeding the property directly to FT, the Florida Turnpike Enterprise. Have already commenced discussions with them. They're very enthusiastic about what we're proposing. We're going to try to fast-track that as much as possible, that is the negotiations and the agreement with them, and then there would be an attendant agreement with the city that we would like to bring back to you ASAP. One of the reasons that this is here as part of your COW agenda is that, as you probably know, October 14th is the deadline for your ear-based amendments to transmit them to the Department of Community Affairs. So staff wanted to go ahead and take the lead, at least with respect to this proposed plan amendment. That's the first step in the entire process, while we can currently negotiate the development agreement and negotiate with the Florida Turnpike Enterprise, and hopefully bring back to you a development agreement that will be not only for the benefit of the Alger family, but really, truly, for the benefit of the city of Homestead as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you.
One final comment,
Good
Mayor.
project, Mr.
As it pertains to the interchange, we've talked about the design-build concept as opposed to going through the whole PD&E process where you have to plan, design, implement, all that. That project is about a 5-year project, if I'm not, 3 to 5 years.
From start to finish construction?
Right.
Yes.
For the design-build process, we could do this. We've already gotten support from the Turnpike Authority.
Yes.
They will provide all the appropriate permits. But then if we do the design-build, we'll be designing and building it all at the same time to expedite the process.
Yes, usually the designer and contractor, they start working together from beginning, and they work together to make the process a lot faster.
And the goal is to get it all done at the same time, so there's one major disruption. And Ms. Alder, we've spoken about this, but the intent is to do a design build as opposed to this whole lengthy process that normally goes with these ramping procedures. Correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
That's a major, major accomplishment. Huge accomplishment.
Good question, Mayor.
Mr. Hodge?
The developer in the city is going to be building the ramp, but is Florida Turnpike Authority is going to be putting a toll booth on it?
It would actually, I'm sorry, through the mayor, if I could, I believe it wouldn't be the city. It would be an agreement between us and Florida Turnpike through the contractor that is selected, and it would be an expedited construction process. Hopefully we can obviate that entire PD&E. I mean, there has to be to some extent, but yes, the idea is to expedite it as much as possible. So it would be the Turnpike and the contractor and us actually building the Turnpike's contractor or our contractor building the interchange, not so much the city.
So it's a possibility for a toll booth?
There is going to be a toll, yes, absolutely. Indeed, one of the mechanisms for reimbursement is going to be the tolls collected at the interchange.
Turnpike Authority says nobody rides for free.
That's
what they tell us.
Especially in South Florida.
Good. Is there a motion to approve the concept?
Sure.
Moved by Mr. Porter, second by Mr. Hodge. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
No, thank you. Amendment of Chapter 22.5, Retirement Programs and Ordinances. Tab 5.
Mr. Mayor and Council, this is a request and a recommendation from the staff that we approve the 5-year drop plan that's the same as Miami-Dade County for our firefighters' pension. As you know, in '78 we turned over our firefighting business to the county, but some of our members stayed on the Homestead retirement plan, which we're still responsible for, but we share that responsibility with the county. And it's a little convoluted at times, but at any rate, we really kind of straightened out that Homestead Firefighters Pension Fund pretty well. And one of the additional things the members have asked is to be, the city has an 8-year, the county has a 5-year. They have nothing. So we agreed to keep them equal with the county, so approve a 5-year drop plan. Now, the actuarial says it's no cost.
No cost to the city.
I'll move it.
Moved by Councilwoman Bell, second by Councilman Hodge. Any questions on this recommendation?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mr. Ford.
How many people are involved?
There are 4 active and 9 inactive. That are inactive meaning they're getting payments. And I don't know exactly if any of those can go back and pick up the drop. I think they have to be actively working. So the 4, really, it'd only be 4 people affected in the...
That's what I thought. There was a very low number of people affected. Thank you, Mayor.
Quick question. Mayor, just on that note, it's a city just plans just to maintain until those 9 people are no longer there, or is there provisions that
We're obligated to maintain the pension until those people are gone. It was part of the transfer. It's in actually the Dade County Home Rule Charter that you need to maintain the pension benefits of employees that are assumed by the county.
so you can transfer those dollars into the pension for the benefit of those individuals? Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
No other question? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
So, Mayor, if you wanted to, you could take F and G together. They're both just supporting applications.
And I'll move both of them.
Moved by Councilwoman Bell, second by Councilman Hodge. Any questions on the application for villages funding of the Renewable Lawrence Library and resolution? And the application for villages funding of the Historic Town Hall and resolution? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 3A, fiscal year bid extension, tab 9, bid extension on the,
Skip, Mayor.
what is this?
Hold on, do that one, yes.
Under tab 9.
Yeah.
This, Mr. Mayor and Council, represents bid extensions. We've already bid these out, but in the contracts with the individual vendors, there was the opportunity for 2 one-year extensions. And as the matrix here shows, some of these are on their first extension that are recommended, and the others are on their second and final extension, as indicated in the chart. But we recommend all these be extended. We've been satisfied with their performance.
Is there a motion for approval?
Move the recommendation.
Moved by Councilman Bell, second by Councilman Hodge. Any questions on the extension? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 3B is the fiscal bid extension for Flamingo Oil.
This is the same as before, it just came in later, so we had to end up doing a separate green sheet on it.
Is there a motion? Moved by Councilwoman Bell, second by Councilman Hodge. Any questions on the extension? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Dell Storage Area Network, Array and Resolution, tab 11.
Yes, Mayor, I will try to give you a overview of this, and if we need any further discussion, I think we got Scott Bell here to comment on this one. Oh, no, you're on the radio. It's Mark that will comment on this. But we recommend, staff recommends the purchase of this storage area network from Dell Computers, and we're piggybacking off of a state contract as well. But our current systems, one, we have several servers in different locations. We also, our capacity is right at 90% as we stand now on our different servers. This particular format would provide extra storage capacity that we need, plus it'll be located in one location, which is more efficient for us. it will also save some money in that we sever the licenses of the separate servers that we have out there, because we have one that we're dealing with. And we currently have about 1 terabyte of data now that we're keeping. This is expandable to 3. I mean, it is at 3, expandable to 27. So it's a system that could handle our needs for quite some time.
Move the recommendation.
Moved by Councilwoman Bell, second by Councilman Hodge. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Investment Policy Amendment Resolution, tab 12.
Again, Mayor and Council, I'll take a stab at giving an overview of this. Right now, we do have an advisor, investment consultant to invest the city's money. And we're recommending changing our current policy regarding the percentage of the city's portfolio that consists of U.S. government agency securities. It recommends to increase the allocation. We currently have 50% that we're allowed to allocate, to do it at 75. And this was recommended by our investment advisor. This will allow the investment manager the flexibility to change as the market changes on these particular investments without any undue risk. As you know, the city's money is not invested as if we'd invest our own or a company might invest. We have to have very low risk, no risk type of investments, and they work in that arena. And this should pay us more interest than the treasuries. And
I'll move it.
Moved by Councilwoman Bell. Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hodge. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Mr. Porter's not here.
I'll move the
Move
grants.
it.
Move to the Poverty Children Family Grant Resolution. Ms. Bell moved, Mr. Hodge second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great program.
Office of Justice Prevention and Resolution. Moved by Ms. Bell, Mr. Hodge.
No.
on this one, weed and seed, there'll be a presentation by probably the Department of Justice.
Good.
Okay.
This is a big award, 175.
It is. Very nice, very nice.
It's for Duplex City area, Target.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? North Miami Beach Mutual Aid Agreement Resolution, moved by Councilman Bell, second by Councilman Hodge. Question on the mutual aid agreement resolution? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Radio system upgrades, Phase 1 in resolution, tab 16.
Okay, Mayor and Council, this is another one. I'll try to give an overview, but we do have Scott. This is the one Scott's working for the PD.
If they need it, it'll be compatible with other agencies and disasters.
And seconded.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, second by Councilman...
It's a good thing.
Councilwoman Bell. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Any other business for the committee of the whole?
Bye-bye.
If not, thank you all very much.
Now, I know you guys wish you stuck some other stuff in there, didn't you?